This is Gustav Le Roux, just sharing something the Lord has opened up to me in the Spirit as He took me into my nation, the nation of South Africa. I trust that you will be blessed and that you will enjoy this. Thank you, bless you, and subscribe, please. Good morning, guys. I hope you're well. I hope you find yourself on fire for the Messiah, full of His glory, full of His power, full of His Spirit, and consumed by all of His fullness. In this morning, on this day, I felt to share something that I experienced in the Spirit, and I wanted to do it live on Facebook, but I thought maybe it'll just be easier for me to put a video on for you guys to watch. I'm going to put it on YouTube as well. It's really just a short clip. I say short, might end up being 10-15 minutes. But I experienced something in the Spirit that really blessed me, and it was exciting then afterwards to see what happened within the nation and in the city of Cape Town. I was taken up into the Spirit, and the Father took me into the nation of South Africa. Now, this is my mother nation. I love it. I've been living there most of my life. I've only been in America for 3 years. So really, I'm a South African through and through. Ek is lief vir my nasie. Ek is lief vir die mense van die Here. Ek kan nie meer so lekker Afrikaans praat nie. But you know, I love the nation. I love my people. I love God's people, and I know that South Africa is a very powerful nation, and that the people there are phenomenal, and it's going to really arise in revelation, knowledge, and understanding beyond what they have up to this point. There's going to be a greater call, a greater dimension of revival being poured and shifted into the nation. I know that the Father prophetically has shown me exactly what will happen within South Africa over the next couple of years, how things will align, how things will get shifted back into place. Now, what I'm about to share really is not to boast anything I do, because I know that it's in Christ and has really nothing to do with me. Yes, it's part of my destiny scroll and the things that the Father has given me to do on assignment while walking with the seven spirits within the kingdom of heaven. But it's not to blow my own horn. It is not to shift myself into place or promote myself in any way. I say and share this because I want my country, South Africa, to be blessed. And what happened is that I was taken up into the Spirit as I was walking across the nation in Cape Town. The Lord took me inside of the mountain, Table Mountain. He took me inside of Devil's Peak, inside of a Lion's Head. And as I was inside of these three mountains, the Lord revealed to me three entities. There was a giant sitting on top, on the inside of Table Mountain. There was two dragons wrapped around, one around Devil's Peak, one around Lion's Head, and they were the established powers and principalities, the governing rulers of that mountain. Now, when I say that mountain, it is governance of a city, governance of a country that is established and is led by a demonic entity. Now, I'm not saying that this is anything fleshly. I'm not talking about the actual leaders of our nation. I'm talking about spiritual principalities and powers that has authority over the nation. And so when I looked at this in the Spirit, I realized that there was a hold, and of course the reality of this is that these three entities has never been seen, have never been revealed. The sons of Yahweh has never gone into the Spirit. Now, I might be wrong. I'm not saying that no one's ever gone into the Spirit and see it, but I know for a fact once you see a dragon or a giant in the Spirit, you have the rights through the court of war and the angelic canopy and the courts in heaven to deal with these legally and to settle it, because the idea behind a spiritual mountain and that which occupies us is that it has to be occupied by a son, a mature son or daughter of the Most High. And there's protocol that needs to be followed once the dragon or the giant has been slain. Now, I don't want to go into too much detail regarding the theology of this, because I know most of the church does not have a grip for it. But I was taken into the Spirit, and the Lord started showing me these entities. Now, they were not aware that I was there, because in stature I was smaller than what they were, but in reality I am much bigger than what they can ever fathom or understand, because in the Spirit, in Christ, there's no space and time, there's no size, there's no big or small. It is a different dimension of glory and power, and the entity and the fullness of what you walk in when you're in Christ is beyond any form of understanding regarding size or matter. And as I was in the Spirit, the Lord showed me a great treasury, revelation, knowledge, insight, gold, diamonds, rubies, that was sealed and locked within these giants, within this dragon. And within the mountain, inside of the mountains, there was thousands of dollars, millions of rands and currency for different nations, not just for South Africa, but for different nations. There was gold and there was diamonds and there was all kinds of valuable stones. There was scrolls and revelation and books and insights. And I said to the Father, what is this? And he said, it is what I've sent into the nation from my throne room, but it was not taken by the saints. It was stolen by these entities that has control over the mountain. And I said, Lord, what needs to happen? How are we going to stop this? Because obviously it is affecting the nation. It's affecting our country financially, mentally, emotionally, in every area of South Africa is being affected by what is controlling the mountain. Now, I say the mountain, it's the governance of South Africa. Now, is it really being governed from Cape Town? I don't know. This is just what I saw in the Spirit. I was immediately taken from there into the court of war, where I was spending time with Mike, and Mike was directing to me a protocol of what to do and how to eliminate these three entities. I was given a sword. Now, I've received a sword in the Spirit. It's not the same sword as what I would receive in Ephesians 4. This is a sword that was allocated to me in the Spirit as I was climbing the ladder of growth, walking with the seven spirits, engaging with the Father, getting to know my Father's house, getting to know my Father's business within the kingdom of heaven. And so it was given to me, and the Father has revealed to me that this is what needs to happen. So what I did is I went into the court of angels, and the Father assigned to me the angelic canopy, the Prince of Roaring Angels that is meant to be ruling on top of these mountains. That was originally allocated to be placed on these mountains to begin to release to the nation what was allocated from the kingdom of heaven. So that what was stolen, I gathered it up and I placed it within my mountain, within the kingdom of heaven, so that I can trade at the Sea of Glass for the nation of South Africa. And it has already started and has been very powerful. But interesting thing is, after these dragons, the dragon and the two giants were slain, what came out of their bellies was absolute phenomenal. It was revelation, biblical revelation. It was a dimension of the glory of the Father that was kept. Now, I know we don't always understand these things, but I look at Daniel waiting for a promise, waiting for a word, and it was withheld from the Prince of Persia. And we need to understand that there's constant war, trading taking place within the demonic realm. Satan has the ability to take off our DNA as we sin, as we operate in the flesh, and as we trade unconsciously into demonic things without knowing that's what we're doing because of sin that's attached to our bloodline or our lives. Satan has the ability to take from us and not pour into us the original content or intent that the Father meant for us to have. And this is exactly what's been happening in South Africa for the last couple of years. I almost want to say a couple of 100 years. And so I believe, and this is just what I'm saying, and that's what I experienced in the Spirit, these three entities have been slain. The Prince of the Roaring Angel over the city of Cape Town has been reestablished, has literally been established. And with him came 5 other angelic canopies, angelic beings that are established within the nation of South Africa. And I have seen how they aligned and how they have literally gone into the nation in the Spirit and reassembled things and pulled in alignment to what was written on the scroll for South Africa for this specific time and season. Now, I know that there's other men of God, there's women of God, mainly a specific woman that I'm thinking of right now that has been doing phenomenal things. And as a matter of fact, I believe in my heart that this lady has been given the authority to realign Africa, to realign South Africa and the surrounding nations into place, because that's the authority that she carries. So my part in all of this is really very small, but I am very excited to see how this happened, because right after these entities was slain and the reestablishment judgment on top of the mountains was given by the angels, and so their sons and daughters within that nation running the governance of the original intent that the Father had again. And there was a big, massive storm. So immediately after the dragon and the giants were slain, there was a massive storm, cleansing the atmosphere. Now, I know it was a little bit more hectic than what we would have wanted it to be, but sometimes the cleaning is violent. Sometimes the cleaning is rough because there's been so much rubbish over it for such a long time. You know, I look at if I have to go and do climb a mountain and there's a lot of mud, I come back down, my shoes are messy. It's the mud gets hard, and so for me to clean it, I have to scrub really hard. It's almost an aggressive act. I'm trying to get it eliminated, you know, so get it clean. And I believe that that's what the storm did. It cleaned out the nation, and this will start running into Durban, into Johannesburg, into Port Elizabeth, into every one of our 9 states. And it's exciting. I just wanted to share this with you guys, and I want you to be excited for what God's doing in South Africa. There's going to be a turn financially. There's going to be a turn in every area of every part of our South African nation, and there will be a shift. They will see a financial increase. The rand will climb up in value. I honestly tell you that there will be less sickness and disease. I'm looking at it in the spirit, and I see HIV numbers coming down, cancer. There is a lot of sickness and disease growing. There's things shifting into place from the demonic that shouldn't be there. And I really believe that the alignment of the governance of the ecclesia within that nation is about to eliminate so much of what's happening in the spirit. Now, I'm just excited to share this with you guys, and I know it might be over the top of some of you, and you might think of me as a crazy person and look and say, wow, where do you get the stuff from? You have such a vivid imagination. You know, in the spirit, there's stuff that we can't fathom. There's creatures, living beings the Father created for us to propel us and for us to go into and to spend time with. And we don't understand it because it's not in our theology. But I know that there's some phenomenal things happening in the spirit, and I know what I experienced because I've been doing it for a long time, and it's exciting. So I want to bless you, South Africa. I love you. I love the people there, my friends, my family members. May this be a time where the sons of Yahweh begin to grow and go deeper and deeper into what the Father has for them. Bless you guys, and if you don't understand what I'm talking about, please just let your spirit engage with it. I am not in the mood for irritating, frustrating comments. If you have something bad to say, really just keep it to yourself. But if you want to inbox me, you're very welcome to. If you need some kind of a theological explanation for what I'm talking about, you can inbox me, and I'll try my best to explain it to you. Or really, although I'm not really yet to explain myself, what I see in the spirit is what I see. What I experience is what I experience. I know the power and the authority that we as sons and daughters have in Christ, and there's some things that we have and can do that it's not in the Bible, I promise you, because Yeshua made a statement. Jesus said, you, son, will do greater things than what I did. And what if we're going to do greater things than what he did, then it's not going to be written down because it hasn't been done yet. So once we're starting to do these things and we start walking in realms and kingdoms and dimensions that haven't been walked in yet, and we're doing things and seeing things within the earth that hasn't been seen or dealt with, then we are doing greater things than what Yeshua did in the earth. And so it's not going to be known to us. It's not going to be revealed to us through man. It's going to be opened via the heart of Yahweh into the sons and daughters. So I pray that you will be blessed by this. I pray that you will understand it, and that you will have peace regarding where you live at the moment, and know that there's men and women in your nation that walking in the spirit and that has the nation in their heart. Once you have something in your heart, you can change it, and there will be great change coming to South Africa in the very near future. There will be a new president. I see it in the spirit, and there will be great results from what the Father is pouring in. There's a breath that's being breathed over South Africa that will propel the nation greatly. I love you guys, and I pray that you will have a great evening, a great day, and remind yourself that you are loved and that God has you at mind and that you are called to do great things. Bless you.